Now that we're locked for top 8, Magic Online does not have modified play draw, so the person who is the first seed does not get to go first. It is random. It's a die roll. So I'm not actually playing for very much here besides like who I can get paired versus. And it turns out like maybe I'm supposed to lose this or just concede this and go take a break so that I can get paired versus people who have middle records, like 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the placements. I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about before. It's like kind of hard to tell because in this tournament, it's so small that like 3 or 4 3-2s are making it in on breakers. So it's really hard to tell who's going to be in the top 8 and what seeds they're going to be. So I just played this match just to find out what deck Kenji was on, even though I thought that they would very likely be on Horror 1 or some kind of bizarre deck. Right. If I win, I'm automatically going to play one of the 3-2s. And if I lose, then I'm somewhere in the middle, and I don't know. The thing is, Kenji is already going to be in the top 8 no matter what. So if I knew for a fact they were on Horror 1, maybe I want them to be the number 1. I'm not gonna play the number 1 seed, right? Even if I lose this matchup, I'm not gonna play the number 1 seed. No, so this person is already in the top 8. This person is also 4-0. This is the 4-0 versus 4-0 match. So both of us are locked for top 8. So it's not like I'm gonna like concede and get them into the top 8. They're already in the top 8. It's just like where I'm placed in the top 8. So I think it's kind of, it doesn't really matter. So we'll just go over this match and just go over how we played it and see if we can find any mistakes. And then we'll move on from there. I think bogging against Canister in turn 1 is, it's a possible line you can take. But I was like more worried. Maybe I shouldn't have been super worried about Hollow 1 because I had a Tabernacle, but I don't know. I typically just try to not let my opponent have a Bazaar at any point because letting them activate just doesn't end up very well for you. And they didn't have like a super large dredge. They only had a dredge 4, and all they had was a Bloodghast in the yard. So I was like pretty happy with letting them keep that dredge. So I think I would probably Wasteland again, but I think the Bog play has merits. Anyways, this is round 5 versus Han Chobai, also known as Kenji TS, also known as, I don't know, 20 other accounts or something. I know that I pretty much know they're on some kind of Hollow Vine style deck, whether it's Horror 1 or Hollow Vine, some kind of bizarre based controlling Vengevine deck. So I actually keep this hand. It's very hard for my opponent to interact with turn 2 2020. They basically have to have Wasteland on turn 1 instead of Bizarre, which I don't think they're ever gonna do. So as long as my mana lives, I'm gonna have a turn 2 2020, and I'm pretty sure that the opponent's deck can't beat it. So I keep this hand, even though this hand looks very weird. This is actually even better versus something like Jeskai, because you can go Chalice on 1. So I see my opponent mull to like 3 cards. So it's even better for us. And then I see them powder, which confirms my suspicion that they're on some kind of Hollow Vine style deck. Technically, this could be Dredge, but I don't actually ever see Hanchobe playing a Dredge deck. They almost always play some kind of bizarre-based Squee deck. So what I do here is, I can't even remember what I Chalice. Like, it doesn't really matter what I choose to Chalice. I think I Chalice on 1 or something. Maybe I'm not even supposed to play Chalice. I don't know. I really don't know what you're supposed to do with this Chalice here. I don't really want to sack my Black Lotus in case they have like a double, in case they have 1 Vigor or something. So yeah, I don't have 10 mana to play Chalice on 5. I do have 6 mana to play Chalice on 3 for Force of Negation, but I didn't want to sack my Lotus. I wanted to keep all my mana sources. So I just did this, and it wasn't very interesting. I'm pretty sure they played a Hollow 1 and another Hollow 1. So nice mull to 3 from our opponent. Nice mull to 3? Yeah, nice mull to 3 from our opponent here. 8 free power on turn 1. Very reasonable, very reasonable. And then I just make a 20-20 and they can't win, so That's game 1. And then game 1, and then game 2. As I said before, I thought there would be a lot of players on Bazaar in this tournament, so I'm very happy to play the deck that I did play. All right, game 2, we've got a Wasteland for Bazaar. We've got a Bog for things in the graveyard. We've got a Thespian Stage and some mana. This hand's perfectly great. Always going to keep it. This hand's a little weak to Hollow One or like a strong Vengevine start, but I'm pretty sure you just like can't mulligan something like this. One of the cards goes back to their hand already. It's always correct here to just hit the Bazaar. Bogging a Squee is way worse than giving them another 2 cards to look at. So here we just Wasteland this and go to the next turn. If they don't have a follow-up, they don't always have a follow-up Bazaar, and they don't, so we just get to go to our turn. Workshop's a pretty interesting draw because it lets us play a Golos. So I actually do go for the Golos. Another option would have been to like go for Stage into Bog Ruby Depths like a couple turns from now, but I think just like playing up the Golos is a stronger play. Also, just leading this lets you play around Wasteland a little bit, which is nice. So this Workshop getting Wastelanded, we don't care. We would much rather this Workshop be Wastelanded than a Stage or a Depths or something be Wastelanded. These cards are all much more important. This is a pretty interesting draw. I'm not 100% sure this is the correct play, by the way. I think that this play could be wrong. I think I'm supposed to hold this Black Lotus and just go Stage Pass, and then on the next turn cast Lotus and go Depths 2020. Or the other way around to play around Wasteland better, but I think I just went for I'm pretty sure I went for Leyline of the Void here. No, I went for Golos. And I don't know if that's correct. The biggest problem with this line is I'm just like putting a thing that gets Force of Willed. You don't want to go for Leyline because then it gets Force of Willed or Force of Negation. Whereas this can only be hit by Force of Will. It also puts a creature in play. If it resolves, it does give me a mana source to make a 20/20 on the next turn, so it's not terrible. I think I don't like this line in general, though. I think if I could go back, I would have gone Dark Depths Pass. I think I would have gone Dark Depths Pass and then gone Cast Lotus. If they don't counter Lotus and I just go Stage 20/20, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think it's better to go Golos here, or do you think it's better to go Dark Depths Pass? I'm not really sure. I'm in a very commanding seat either way, but I'm just trying to figure out like what's the best line. Like both of them do expose spells on the stack, and the Black Lotus line does expose a Black Lotus to Force of Will, Force of Negation. But the Dark Depths plays around Wasteland better. Like, if my opponent has Wasteland, Force of Will here, then I can lose my Stage, lose my Golos, and I don't have really much going on. So this line just doesn't seem great to me. I think I would have rather just gone, like, Dark Depths Pass, and then gone Lotus Stage. So I think this is a misplay, which is half the reason why we're here. Try to learn and improve, and that way next time it goes better. But this Golos actually just resolves. I'm pretty sure that I get a Wasteland. The Wasteland gives me the second mana to play, to activate my Thespian Stage on Dark Depths next turn. It also gives me a way to kill another Bazaar if they were to have another Bazaar. So I think Wasteland makes the most sense here. I don't like Karn in this deck because you don't cast it off of Mishra's Workshop. And I have a very hard time casting Karn in this deck. Don't really want more spells that are hard to cast. So they do have Force of Vigor, which is something to note. Another thing that would have been exposed if I played like Leyline. So this actually does buy them another turn where they get to stop me from being able to activate my Thespian Stage. I also would have been able to play around that if I had just gone for the Dark Depths Pass line. So I think Dark Depths Pass line is just superior. And then we draw this Ancient Tomb. I'm sure I think I just bog this Bloodghast here. Yeah, bog the Bloodghast. And then on this next turn, we can make a 20/20. However, opponent has another Wasteland, so we need to play around that. And the way we play around that is, well, pretty simple. Draw Soul Ring. But what I do here is I play a Soul Ring, and then if my Soul Ring resolves, then I can play a Dark Depths. I can Wasteland the Wasteland, forcing them to use their Wasteland and then activate in response. However, I'm pretty sure my Soul Ring gets misstepped. My Soul Ring does get misstepped, so instead I just play the Ancient Tomb, so that next turn I can make the same play. So now that I have this much mana in play and I have my own Wasteland, all I need to do is play Dark Depths. After I play Dark Depths, I Wasteland their Wasteland, and then they have to Wasteland in response. When they Wasteland in response, then I just make a 20/20. Oh, why don't you hold tight and we'll get there. I don't know. They Wasteland the Ancient Tomb for some reason. It doesn't really matter what they choose to Wasteland because it's just, yeah, it's going to be a 20/20 that they can't beat anyways. So, and boom, 5-0 in the Swiss of the Mox Qualifier. Trying to repeat and defend the title.